Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sajid Shaikh, Managing Director of Boxman Global. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed customers, valued partners, regulatories, and our friends. Um, it's a very important topic which is related with compliance and regulatory. And we would like to share how we can go about this to make sure that we are ready and we are compliant. So I would request your active participation throughout the session and keep posting as many questions throughout the session. We will try to answer all of them. And of course, we are also going to have a Q&A towards the end. So before we proceed, I would also like to pass on to Adolphe, our special guest from MOFAC expert team to address the attendees and all our friends on the call today. So Adolphe, over to you, please.
Thank you, Sajid, and thank you so much for organizing this webinar. I think this will be very helpful. So for those who do not know me or have not had any interactions with me, my name is Adophe Chaiban. I am an independent consultant with economic advantages, and we are contracted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the past 4 years to design, develop, and implement eDAS. So I've been part of the eDAS team since, since Corona days, and the development and the life cycle has been going on, and now we're excited to launch eDAS 2.0. So I am here on a support level for anything that you need.
All right. So our marketing team, for all good reason, would not miss this great opportunity to promote the brand. But however, this session is not about Boxman, so I'm not going to delve into it a lot. All I want to tell you is that we are your logistics team. You can engage us whenever you have a question or any support you need related to logistics. We are headquartered and hearted at the airport road, exactly opposite to Cargo Village. We are going to first understand why this is important, because before we set the context, before we go into eDAS 1, eDAS 2, we need to also understand why this attestation is important and why it is there in first place. Then we will talk about the eDAS 1. We will not dwell in too much into eDAS 1. It's just for a comparison purpose. We are going to talk about it a little bit because today technically is the last working day we are on eDAS 1, and come Monday, we will be all on eDAS 2. So we will focus more on eDAS 2, the benefits of eDAS 2. We'll also talk about the how do you go about if you have not registered yet, how do you log in, how do you add users, and so on. So stay tuned and stay focused. If you have any questions, like I said earlier, put it in the chat or the Q&A, and we will respond to all of your questions before the towards the session as we progress towards the session. All right. So thank you, and let's look at why MOFAC attestation. So there are some key points mentioned on the slide. As you can see, it just validates and authenticates the document that the goods are being imported with. It protects not just the importers, manufacturers, but also it protects consumer because it ensures the quality and the standard of the goods are met. It also protects the interests of the importers in case of any disputes, any legal issues are there with the shipment, because these attested documents are valid and accepted in any court. So it helps with that. And like I said, it also ensures consumer safety, and end of the day, we want to make sure that we have a good quality and standard products being imported in the country. So I hope it just sets the tone and context of why the attestation is required in first place, and how it helps us both legally and in terms of quality and everything related with the particular goods or brands. All right, so we'll move on to the next slide, which is about the eDAS 1. Before that, I would also like to ask Adolphe on the first, why MOFAC attestation? If you've missed anything, Adolphe, if any input from your side, just to enlighten all of us.
No, I think you've nailed it on the head. I would just like to add one more thing, and why the MOFAIC attestation is to also have a macro look on all the economies of what is being imported And then the next step would be to see how we can assist and develop the growth of those sectors as well.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Adolf. All right. So moving on with eDAS 1. So you all are, I'm sure, familiar. We've been using eDAS 1 for almost 1.5, 2 years. So the process involved in eDAS 1 is on your screen, wherein the importer has to upload the invoice on the eDAS 1 system, get it attested after making the necessary payments, and then share the attested invoice, or at least the AECI, what you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, the the QR code with the AECI number. That number is very important for the clearing agent or the forwarder or the carrier to put or mention in the declaration so that it's linked with your declaration. So that is the process, or that is the process till today. And it resulted in little bit chaos because of the linking challenges if attestation is performed by the clearing agent. Because as a clearing agent, let's say if a Boxman is a clearing agent or the forwarder, Boxman can also perform attestation service. And let's say declaration is done on a different registration, it creates a lot of linking issues and confusion. So that's the current setup it has one. However, if it's done right, it works quite well and seamless, but definitely there is room for improvement. And that's the reason we have the new system being launched from Monday, September 1st, which is eDAS 2. eDAS 2 is going to simplify the way we do attestation. It is being launched or deployed like any other new technology. It is for betterment. It is to make things efficient. It is to make things easy, simple for the importers, for everybody involved in the supply chain, right? So it is as simple as, now the clearing agent, forwarder, carrier, integrator, whoever is importing the shipment for you or transporting the shipment for you does not need any AECI number. They can go ahead and do the declaration just as in the past without, and this will also save a lot of time because there won't be any delays in clearance. I know a lot of importers having this issue wherein, we're waiting for the MOFAC attestation, and the declarations are not done because of that, because a lot of clearing agent will not do clearance until they have the MOFAC attested AECI number. So that resulted in delays of shipments as well. But all that is until today. But come Monday, we won't have such delays or issues because the clearing agent can go straight away and do the declaration. As soon as the clearing agent does the declaration, the declaration details are being uploaded, or it's being transferred to the eDAS 2 portal of the customers or the importers, wherein they can go and simply select the transaction and pay for the attestation. We will see how to do that, but it is so simple. Like I was saying, let me just move on to the next screen. Yeah. So importer have better control also in terms of user access management as well. That's what we are going to see in the live demo in a while. Okay, so and there is no need to invoice upload. It's optional. Like today for eDAS 1, you have to upload the invoice and then do the attestation. But in eDAS 2, there is no need or no compulsion to upload the invoice. There's no need, like I said, to share AECI number with the clearing agents or forwarders or carriers because it's already been declared and done. So and third party or clearing agent cannot perform the attestation unless you give the privilege. So it will avoid any confusion, for the importers who has done the attestation, who has done the declaration and linking and all that, because nobody will be able to perform the attestation on your behalf unless you have given them the privilege or the access, and we will see how to do that as well. So moving forward, like we just discussed, it's a very simple process. Attestation will be required for both the invoice and certificate of origin moving forward from 1st of September. So that is a key update also for all of us on the call, all the attendees, to make note of that. It's not just the invoice, but it's also certificate of origin that needs to be attested. And the value, the threshold remains the same. It's 10,000 dirhams or more per invoice. I would like to bring in Adolphe as well for his comments and just to help us to understand better with some more benefits. If anything more to be shared here, Adolphe, it will be great to hear from you on this.
Yes, sure. So the development of the eDAS 2.0, as you mentioned, Sajid, is to streamline the attestation process, simplify it, and our aim was to reduce about 80% of the admin work. And the biggest challenge was always the linking and the split between the agent, freight forwarders, and the consignee, and a lot of data or got lost in the cycle. So eDAS 2.0 it fundamentally works on post clearance. So moving forward, as of Monday, no one will ever have to wait for attestation before entering the BOE and getting their declaration cleared. Now, a quick message about the COO, because I know that everyone is asking, why is it mandatory for the COO? This is a federal law, and the COO is mandatory per declaration, not per invoice. And we will talk about that more in the questions and answers. So even that, we have tried to limit it. And most importantly is you don't need the physical COO. It's just there is some service fees to be paid.
Thanks, Adolphe. Yes, so CO is just per shipment, like Adolphe said, and invoice will be per invoice of over 10,000. So that clarifies. We have some questions coming in. Don't worry, we are going to address them towards the end. Let us just go through the, we have some more details to be shared, and I'm sure, or I hope, some of your questions that's there will be answered as well. And if not, we will take it towards the end. All right, so let's continue with eDAS benefits. We have some more benefits which are up here. So enhanced registration process for all the Emirates, one single platform. Any Emirates you're based in, you can register on eDAS 2. I mean to say, if your license is issued by, let's say, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Northern Emirates, anywhere, or Abu Dhabi can be registered. In fact, in Ras Al Khaimah and Fujairah, it's already implemented and they're already using it as to. There is a single sign-on with your UAE pass, so it's very easy. You won't forget your credentials. It's just linked with your Emirates ID and your UAE pass. So that's very easy way of signing in. Authenticity, QR code, reminders, and so on. So there's some other benefits as well with eDAS 2. So those are some new features and benefits as we saw in eDAS 2. Registration and login. So next step. So now you know why we need to attest, what was like some challenges we had with eDAS 1, and what's new with eDAS 2 in terms of enhancement, in terms of user-friendly and efficient way of managing the entire task. What next you need to do is register yourself if you have not registered already and start using the platform, because like I said, on Monday, September 1st, it will be all on eDAS 2. Okay, so on your screen, you can see two QR code. One is to register. If you have not registered already, you can use that QR code. There is some confusion if you go to Google and try to find a link, it may not take you to the right page. And that's the reason we have put it here. We are also going to share it with you later. And then if you've already registered, you can log in with the QR code on your right-hand side. Okay, so I hope you have taken a quick snap, or anyways, we are going to share it with you, like I said. So let's jump into the live demo. And for that, you will have to give me a few moments so that I can share my screen. We are going to do a live demo on how we go about registration, how do we go about the dashboard, and also how to manage the users. Okay. All right, so I hope you can see the screen. So when you go on that first QR code which was shared, or the link which is for registration, it takes you to this page. So as soon as you click on that, it takes you to this registration page. All you need to do here is select the Emirates you belong to, or your license belongs to, name of the license as per the trade license. So we're just going to do a test, your ABC test, license number, your license issue date. Okay. And then the authority, is it free zone? Is it Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism? So DET, and you just say proceed. Just one update here, before you get into registration, if you're not the owner of the company on the license, or you're not one of the managers on the license, then you will need an authorization letter to proceed with the registration. Without the authorization letter, you won't be able to submit the registration request. So if your name is already there, it's well and good. You can proceed. You don't need an authorization letter. But if it's not, get the authorization letter from the official or the signatory whose name is on the license, with your email ID and your mobile number mentioned on the letter, because that's the number or the email which will be linked with your UAE pass as well. So it should be the same number and email ID that's on your UAE pass. In case we have also seen some issues like some of us have a different number and email for work and for personal. So most likely on UAE pass, since it's linked with your Emirates ID, you have your personal details. So either that has to be changed to your business number, or you have to request your company to issue you a letter with your personal number and email, in case if that is how your setup is. So there is a workaround for that. However, if it is the same, you just have one number and one email, then there is no problem. Absolutely. So yes. So going to the next screen, you have already put the company name and the trade license number in the previous screen. The trade license expiry date is where what you're going to put here. Okay. Um, 25 August 1st. All right. And then the legal type, if it is an LLC or private company, you can put it here. Company registered email address. That's the reason it should be the registered email address with the Dubai Economy and Tourism Department, or wherever the license is issued from. It cannot be anything else. So let's say the registered email here is test@abc.com, and the mobile number is 5123456. Yeah. You have to upload the trade license here and the authorization letter as well. In case you are the owner or the manager on the license, you don't need to upload the authorization letter. So if you're wondering what authorization letter should be containing, it's very simple. It's mentioned here, just your name, email address, mobile number, company stamp, signature. It should be on a company letterhead. It just says registration for eDAS 2.0 with these details, sign and stamp. That's good enough for you to upload here. Okay. And like we already discussed, include email, mobile number as per the trade license, also mentioned here, in case if you're the owner and doing it and you're not authorizing somebody else. Okay. Yeah, and the last line you can read here, kindly provide an email ID, mobile number of representative, same as UAE Pass, to link your account directly with eDAS 2.0. So already we discussed, I hope that point is clear. If not, you can put in the Q&A and we will come back to that question. Okay. Then you put the details. So let's say if you're registering on behalf of your company and you have the authorization, you put your details here, you put your name, you put your designation, you put your email address here as per the UAE pass, your mobile number, your Emirates ID number, and you submit it. Once you submit, you will get a screen with a reference number. Okay, so that means once you've submitted, it's gone to the eDAS 2 team or to the MOFAC team for verification. They'll check all the details, and within some time, within few minutes, within a couple of hours, or maximum a day, you will receive an email approval that your registration is successful. You can start using the portal. So it's very quick, it's simple, it won't take too long if you have the required details, the authorization letter. It's very straightforward registration process. And with that, if anything else to be added, dear Adolphe, I think we have covered the registration session comprehensively, or at any point where you see the companies are struggling with in terms of registration, if you would like to add something here, please.
So I think, yes, the registration process, thank you so much for explaining, Sajid. I think just to underline that it is very important that when you are putting in the mobile number and email address, it should be the email address at the below side. It should be the email address and the mobile number that is the user will be using to enter to the eDAS system. It should be the same as your UAE pass. So whatever OTP you receive or whatever mobile number is linked with your UAE pass, as well as email, it might be a personal email, you should include it there, not your work email. And I think that's where most people, and for those that have registered a long time ago without putting in their UAE pass details and now are having issues, we will discuss that in the Q&A to tell you how it can be rectified.
Thanks, Adolphe. And yes, so or you can update your UAE pass email and number to your company if you want to do so. Right, Adolphe, that will work as well if they update the UAE
Correct.
pass details. Yeah.
Correct.
All
Yes.
right. Okay, great. Thanks for that. Let's continue with the demo. So we have seen the registration part. Any questions? We will come back to it. Now, let's say you're registered, you have received the email, you're good to go. What you do is you go to the second link, which is to log in. And when you use the second link, you come to this page. So you see this is a login page, right? And here you see, don't look at the foreign mission government. It's only for foreign mission government login. You have to look at the right side, which says individual companies, individuals or companies. It has to login. We have to use this option unless you are a foreign mission or government. I don't think we have anybody on this call, but this discussion is mostly for individuals, importers, consignees, companies. So this is how you're going to log in. Log in with UAE Pass, and I'm going to show you the login with my. So you put your either MSID number or the registered mobile number, say login, then you open the app, UAE Pass app on your mobile device. So I'm doing that. Please bear with me. So this is a live demo session we are sharing with you. So you see I've got this 50 here. If you cannot, then I'm sorry about that. 50, confirm, and it's asking for my password. Okay. So it's done now. I have verified on my UAE pass, and here you go. Boom. So you're in the eDAS 2 portal. I've logged in, and I can see only my company because nobody else, or I've not added any more company. But yes, what you can also do is you don't need multiple registration or logins. I would say not registration, logins for multiple companies. Let's say you are representing a group of company and you want to register more than one company in the same sign in or the credential. You can do that. All you need to do is register a new company, and you have to follow the same process of registration what we just saw. So if you have more than one company and you are the single owner or the manager of that, you can use one login and you can add companies also just by going to register a new company. And you see it's a similar form which comes up for registration. So you just have to follow the same process that's for the registration. Good thing is that it will stay in one place. So next to the Boxman, let's say I have another company ABC, it will appear ABC. As many companies you want to add, you can add. Okay. That is not going to be a very common requirement, but yes, that option is available. Let me now just stick to an example where we have just single company. So we will proceed to go to the dashboard. Okay, so you see the company. If you're more than one, you select that particular company and then proceed. If you have just one, you can hit on the proceed. Once you hit on the proceed, you come on the dashboard. So here is the dashboard. Right now, we don't have anything because, like I said, the system will be active from September 1st. And we are not an importer exactly, so we won't have many on the dashboard unless our customers or our partners nominate us or give us the privilege to do the attestation for them. So right now we have nothing here. Once you start, the declaration from Monday, once the declaration is done, the transaction will appear here. All you need to do is check that particular transaction. There will be a pay button. You pay for that transaction because all the data related to the shipment, the invoice, the value, everything is already been captured while doing the declaration on Dubai Trade. So that data is being transmitted to the eDAS 2 system. That's the reason you don't need to upload and do any of that because all the details are already available with eDAS 2 portal. Okay. So what we'll see here is in this demo is you go to the hamburger menu here on the top left and you see you have a company profile. In case you want to make any changes to your company profile, you can do that from here. Access control, you want to change the access for particular user or things like that, you can do it here. But first, most important is that option, actually, access control. So let's go to access control first. Okay. So in access control, what you can do is you can add users. Let's say you are from ABC company and you want to give access to me. So, or you want to give access to your internal colleague. All you need to do is go here to access control and say add. Okay. When you go to add user, you will be requiring the details, their Emirates ID number, and again the similar things like the mobile and email should match with the UAE pass, because they will also log in with the UAE pass. So you will have to share your Emirates ID details, your email ID and mobile number. So let's say if I am giving you the details so that you can add me as a user, you have to put my email address, registered with UAE Pass, my Emirates ID number, my mobile number, role, what you want to give. Is it an admin role or a user role? Admin role you will give only to, of course, person you want to have more control. Otherwise, you can simply give. If you're giving the access to your colleagues who are just responsible to manage the attestation, then user access is good enough. Or if you're giving it to a clearing agent or forwarder or anybody else, you can give a user level access to them. So let's say it's a user level access, display name for your, just to for you to remember easily. You can have a specific display name, or you can just put a company name. Let's say if you're giving it to me, you can just put Boxman, so you know, okay, this access I'm given to Boxman. Access profile, all the mandatory attestation or only CO attestation or optional attestation as well. You can decide that which one that particular user can do, all that attestation mandatory one or only CO attestation or the optional attestation. So you will be giving mandatory attestation and CO attestation as well. I just want to ask, clarify this with Adolphe as well. So if we select mandatory attestation, it will include CO and invoice both, or it's only for the invoice, commercial
So
invoice?
good question. So mandatory attestation is for any attestation that has come through customs. So it's your LCA, your local customs transactions that will come through, and you can attest both. CEO
Okay.
attestation is if you require just the CEO to be attested for any other purpose, whether it's for a halal certificate, for anything else like that. And then the optional attestation is for any exports. So if you
Yeah.
are dealing with exports to other countries, Bahrain, Saudi, Iraq, and they require attestation, physical attestation of documents, there's the optional attestation. So what we've done is we've tried to give the users the ability to choose what they want to allow their brokers or their colleagues to do. So if you have one agent that just deals with your imports, you give him the mandatory attestation and the CEO attestation just in case. Or if you have someone that deals just directly with your exports, your imports to other countries, you would give them the optional attestation, or all three.
Very good. Excellent. That was the good information and all, because that makes it very clear, because we were having this question as well. So thanks for that and all. So yes, so I hope that is clear. So mostly you will be giving the first two if it is related with imports, and if it is export, you're going to give the last one. Right. So you do that and then you move on with the company name. If you want to put a company name there, the email ID and the mobile number as per the UAE pass details, and you will simply save it. Okay, so once you do that, that particular user will have access to your eDAS 2 portal as well to perform the specific activities that you have provided access to. Okay, so right now we have one user. If you want, you can also delete that user very easily. So I can simply go here and I can just delete the user, right? You can add, you can delete very easily. There's also a very good option. There is a Excel you can upload. Let's say you have a lot of multiple users, you have a lot of maybe forwarders or so on, and you want to give access to them. You can also put the details on an Excel file. The format is there, and you can upload the users also at one go. So that's very easy for you to manage your users. Okay. So that was access control. In company profile, you can update the details of the company, just like how you would do otherwise for any other access or credentials. Mandatory attestation will give you a view of pending, completed, and pending. This is mandatory attestation, like Adolphe already mentioned it, mostly for commercial invoice. CO attestation details will be featuring here. Optional attestation, like for exports, will be featuring here. If you need any specific reports, you can also have specific reports, and you can have reports region wise as well, which is very good option actually, because you can also have a kind of a good view. Let's say if you don't have with your current system of what you're importing and from where, which countries you're importing, and if you're having this attestation done correctly, you will have a view also of the region that you're importing from. With date wise, you can download that data as well, which will help you in your business forecast, in planning, expansion, and so on. So good feature there for us to explore further. So, and some other analytics is also there, as you can see, the total attestation requested and so on, CO attestation. So it's a nice dashboard with the details. It's easier to navigate and access, have knowledge on your fingertips and all those things. So it's very simple. I have not used personally a lot of time. It's maybe second or third time I'm on this screen as well. And I just feel like I have been using it forever because that's how simple the interface is. So without dwelling further on this, I would move on or stop sharing unless we have anything else to cover in the demo, Lachlan. Or Adolphe, do you want it to cover anything else in the demo? Any other
No,
specific points?
no, Sajid, I think that was very well explained. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, let's move on then. I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment and come back to you in a second. So we have only 10 minutes left, so we'll just quickly run through. We have some screenshots or screen grabs of the demo that we did as well. So how to log in, how the login page looks like, how to choose your company and proceed, how to pay for it. So here you see some details on this particular screenshot, how the dashboard will look like once it is active from Monday and you're registered. So how you can see the transactions there, select those transactions and pay. Right, so we're going to share the screenshots as well for you so that you know what to do with it. User access management, we discussed what are the options in user access management, how to add a user and so on. So this is a screenshot for that. With that, we are done with the demo. So what we have done today is we have looked at why eDAS or why attestation is important. What was eDAS 1? What were some of the challenges? How eDAS 2 helps us to navigate or overcome those challenges with the new features, user-friendly, seamless integrations, and so on. And then we did a live demo to make ourselves comfortable with the registration and login process. And with that, we are done with today's discussion and we'll open up for Q&A. Unfortunately, we won't be able to unmute you because we have a lot of participants and it will create a chaos. So we are taking questions on in the Q&A box. We already have some questions. So I will request Lachlan to start from the first question that we have received and we'll try to address most of them. We don't have much time. We have only 5 minutes or so left. We will try to answer as many possible and we will get back on the remaining question to you one on one. If I hope you have left your name and we have your details, your email address, so we will get back to you. Okay. And one last request also I have is to scan this QR code for a quick survey. This survey will help us to know how was today's webinar and if there was anything better we could do next time. And we have a lot of different topics that we are going to have webinars on, which is more educational and for the learning purpose, from personal development to developing good habits, problem solving, project management, and so on. So if you're interested in this topic or if you're interested in any specific topic, you can also mention in the survey. So please take a moment to complete the survey and tell us how was it today and what you would like to see in the coming weeks. All right, so let's open Q&A. Lachlan, if you can take the first question, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sajid. Actually, we have a lot of questions. So I will take one question from Mr. Arshad. Actually, two questions together. So the first question is for air freight shipments also COO is required. And then the second one is as per Dubai Customs, certificate of origin is not mandatory for air and sea shipments if country of origin details are mentioned on the invoice. From September 1st, certificate of origin is mandatory for all shipments, including courier. That is a question. And then do we really need it for air freights and sea freight? Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll direct this question to Adolphe. I think I have the answer, but Adolphe would be the right person to
Sure.
answer
So
this, please.
thank you so much, Sajid. So to clear up any confusion, yes, the COO is mandatory for all shipments, irrelevant of the channel type. So if it's courier, air, road, or sea, the CEO per declaration is mandatory. We do understand that Dubai Customs does not ask for the CEO. That is a local government level side of their compliance. But in terms of federal law, a CEO is required. You don't need the physical COO, or you don't need to even have a copy of the COO. You just need to pay the fees for the COO. Then you can take your time if you require the COO to be attested, as you've paid the fees, to upload it on a later stage if you need it or not. But to simplify things, yes, the CEO needs to be attested no matter what the channel type or how you're bringing it in. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, thanks, Adolphe. Just one question. So uploading the invoice or commercial or the CEO is optional, right? It's
completely
completely
optional.
optional. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
completely
All right.
optional. And we would tell people only do it if you absolutely require it,
Okay.
because
Great.
then it just adds more admin work to you.
Right. Thank you for that. So yes, it is required for all the modes and not a physical copy. So you don't have to necessarily change any setup you have with your suppliers and shippers that include the CEO or send us a copy or things like that. That doesn't change. You don't need that. You just need to go and complete the transaction on the eDAS 2 portal. Right. Let's move to the next question, please.
Yes, Mr. Sajid. One moment. We have a question. I think actually I don't have the name of the person. So this is directly for Mr. Adolphe. So in a Russell Kaima shipment involved in duty exception from Dubai, I think this is Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology attestation with eDAS. We are not able to link with Ministry of
Sure.
Industry. Yeah. In
No,
that case, we end up making double payment for duty paid in RAM. So I think this question is directly to you. So if you can answer, Mr. Adolphe.
No problem. And I think there's another question by our friend Romeo from Ajmal Perfumes as well for the same request. So as I know, there's a lot of people that are applying for duty exemptions. And at the time of duty exemptions, you're required to attest your CEO and invoice. And then after attesting that, you log on to eDAS 2.0, and then you see that the declaration that you have the exemption on is present there. So not to worry. How to move forward? We are in a transitional period. How to move forward is continue in the Moyat website to attest your invoice and CEOs. Do it on the Moyat website. So when you're on the Moyat website and you're applying for duty exemptions and it asks you if you have an attested invoice and CEO, say no, upload your documents, attest them, keep those documents, and then once you see it in your workspace, gather all of them. So wait for every 10 days, gather all of them, and then send it to the CRM department with the declaration numbers and the attestation numbers, and they will clear them for you. We are in the process of integrating with Moyat with eDAS 2.0, which will take a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, to avoid double charging, I recommend that you do that. And that works for all Emirates. So continue attesting with Moyat through the Moyat channel. Keep your documents and your AECI numbers. And once you see them on your workspace, take the declaration numbers and the attestation numbers and just drop it into the CRM, and then they will clear it for you. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, just to follow-up question on this, Adolphe, is it cannot be done the other way around, wherein you cannot do it on eDAS 2 first because the CO attested would be required for clearance purpose. And in eDAS 2, the declaration will appear only after the clearance. Correct? That's the reason it cannot be other way around.
Correct. And if you attest, so if you use the physical attestation or the optional attestation option, it will give you an AECI number that Moyat will not recognize because it's integrated with the old system. So please do not attest duty exemptions except through Moyat channel. Don't go to eDAS. Once you've received the attestation, take a note of the declaration number that's in your workspace and send it through the CRM department, and they will clear it. Ahmed and Mohammed and team will clear it for you. We've put in a dedicated team just to do that as well for the meantime.
Okay, great. Thanks, Adolphe. Adolphe, we've run out of time. Do you think we can take more questions? I respect everybody's time. If you have any other commitments, you can proceed. But if Adolphe has time, we will take some more questions or we'll get back to you later. So Adolphe, do you think you can take a couple of more questions?
I can take a couple more questions, and I've been reading the few questions. I'd like to answer one important one, which is the banks as well. So someone asked, how is the banks going to release my LCs without attestation? The banks will still have access to eDAS 1.0. They can attest, and it's the same process. Take your attested documents. If the declaration pops up in your workspace, send it to the CRM. So very similar to Moyat. The banks are all briefed. They know what to do. So we just try to avoid double. As long as you have attested, the banks will attest on your behalf. Then you can clear the LC. Yep. Any other questions, please? Yeah, I'm okay
just a couple of follow-up questions on the same on the response that you just made. So let's say if the banks or the MOAD or other department takes more than 14 days, that's okay. CRM will accept it still. Those attested documents.
Yes, they will. Yeah.
And it's on the email. CRM you have to email the attested.
Yes, through the contact us CRM. Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Adolphe. Lakvin, do we can take one more question probably. Do we have any other different question or highly maybe technical question that needs a urgent response? For the remaining question, if we have more, we will get back to you with an FAQ document as well as if required one-on-one. So anything, Lakvin?
Actually, we have a lot of questions coming in. I'm just trying to get one of the major questions. Give me a few minutes, please.
Okay, so if you have joined in late and you have questions, we are also going to have the video recording shared with you. So you can go through the entire session and hopefully your questions will be answered. Unfortunately, we have ran out of time and we have ran over actually. And to respect everybody's time, we would like to call it a webinar here. And we are here to support you. We are ready. I wish you get ready for this and be compliant and with the regulatory coming Monday, September 1st. If you need any further help or support, you can reach out. You can see our contact details also displayed here on your screen. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Wish you all a happy Friday and a great weekend. Adolphe, any closing comments from you, remarks from you?
Yes, we are here to support. It's a transitional period. I've put the link for the CRM eDAS support. It allows you to upload documents and so on. So please use that. We're here to support. If anyone needs anything, I'm available on email. Usually is the quickest way to reach out to me. And as I mentioned, it's a transitional period. So we have a full team on Monday to take calls and so on. The call center number is 800 44 444, and they should be able to help you with anything.
Great. So we are going to include this contact details that Adolphe just shared as well in the deck. So you will have all of that in one deck. With that, thank you, Adolphe. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Wish you a pleasant day ahead. Until next time. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.